Hello everybody, I am GojiGabi20 here doing another review today for you guys, and this is going to be on the Transformers Kingdom Ultra Magnus. This is pretty much my third Ultra Magnus figure because I have the Siege one, I have the Netflix one, and now I have this one. And I think this is the last one for me, unless if they possibly make a definitive one with a trailer that actually works for the robot mode, because honestly for this one, kind of let down on this one, honestly. The figure's cool though. The figure is great, I love the figure, but the vehicle mode is a different story. Let's just get right to it. Yeah, I'm definitely disappointed that the vehicle mode is just like the Siege one, but just more Earth based, which I like Earth style figures, I do, but this one just does not look really good. Like that gap and everything there, the hands, you can see even more compared to the Siege one. Like the front, look at the front, it looks really good, and that's the problem. It only looks good on the front. And that's really it. Like, I like the wheels though. The wheels look really good. I really like the wheels. But everything else, like the trailer, it's just the same thing from like the Siege one. Which the Siege one, it works because it's Cybertronian. And that figure looked amazing. Like, if this was Siege, honestly, I'd be like, yeah, this is crazy. And it's weird looking, but I like it. But it's Earth. It just doesn't work as Earth. Like, I could kind of see it, but it's just pure lazy, if I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, Hasbro really missed the mark here, and dare I say the car too. Yeah, like I do like the new look on the missiles. I think they look very different compared to the Siege one, and I actually do like that. It's different, but yeah, like I said, I don't really hate the vehicle mode, but I'm definitely disappointed in it. But now for comparison, here he is with Earthrise Optimus Prime, which of course is going to be more successful because it's easy. Ultra Magnus, it's a bit different. I mean, I could understand where they're coming from, but Combiner Wars did it well too. But what you gonna do? Yeah, that's Prime. Now, for another comparison, why not? I got Springer here, and I reviewed this guy recently too. Hot Rod. And, like, again, these guys do look good together. I will say this. In vehicle mode, it looks lazy, but it does look good with other figures. I'm not going to deny that. It does look good. And last but not least, let's compare them to these two figures, because I really do like these figures. Cyclonus and Scourge. And I don't know if this would work because jets and whatever this thing is, I still don't know what this is. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, usually I always go for like, actually before I go on he does come in accessory, of course, the gun. It's more of like a gunmetal gray now instead of silver, which I don't mind. But it can go with the back or forward here. Yeah, same thing. But all around, vehicle mode it's just disappointing. That's just my opinion though. You guys may have a different opinion, but I can understand why, because they want to keep the gimmick. I get it, but come on. But Final Verdict on this vehicle mode, it's disappointing, like I said. But let's go to robot mode, which I were Transformers guy, but the thing is, you guys saw this many times. This is like the third time, so you guys should know how this goes. I'm just gonna skip transformation this time. That's pretty rare for me here and there these days, but let's get to it anyways. And here we have Albino Prime in this face right here. I call Albino Prime because, of course, not just because of MGO joke, but really, it's basically what it is. A white Optimus Prime, which the original, it was like this is Siege and the G120 of course, but this one I am not really too happy about it, because I don't know, my copy looks like mine is a bit of a sloppy job in the front top. I mean, it's probably my copy, and the eyes are red, which I expected. But, oh, sorry about that. I forgot this step here. My bad. But the one thing I'm just not really fond of, honestly, is the chest. Because of the Earth style vehicle mode, a compromise for this robot is that the chest makes him look fat, chubby. I'd say he's a chubby transformer. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining too much. I really don't, because I do like the figure. It's just the vehicle mode could have been better, and this thing now looks chunky and fat in a way. And I can't even complain too much because, let's be honest, this is something like how us collectors or fans are going to look like. Me, I know that for a fact. I'm pretty big myself. But comparison with Optimus Prime. If you guys see my other comparison of videos with Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus, this is pretty much the same size, so yeah. So, there you go. And I kind of like this head a little bit more too at the same time, but still like this one because it's more cartoon faithful. But yeah, you know what can you do? Well, that's it though. Let's look at the robot mode, the real one at least. And before I forget, yes, he can hold his gun. Oh, duh. Just not gonna show you guys anyways. There you go. Well, here we have him in his robot mode. Definitely better of the two modes of the robot for the without the armor and the truck mode. Now, that doesn't mean he's full-on perfect, but he does look really good. And let's take a look at that face sculpt as usual. We're looking at the face sculpt right here. That is so G1. In person, the eyes look really good, honestly. Those big old eyes, like a visor. But really, they're actually... Whoops, my bad. It's actually light piping right there. As you can see right there. If you look at it, it's like the Siege version. But it's more G1 with those visor eyes now. But it's still there, you know. And he does look really good. Like, the shoulder pads here, I think they're a bit of an improvement in my opinion. Even though they don't serve a better function than the Siege one, but they do look nicer, I'd say. Like G1. And I really do appreciate that. And I really do like these new missile shoulders, or missile shoulders, whatever you want to call them. They look really nicer and more intimidating in my opinion. I'm trying to say that name right. But chest, so G1. I like that chest a lot. And honestly, without the battle damage compared to Siege, this figure looks really nice. Even though the battle damage did make it look more premium, but I still like it. The only thing I'm not really fond of is, like, of course, the big hips again. Well, that's because that's the gimmick. And I really wish he had a Autobot symbol here. Would have been nice. Well, replay wasn't there for you. Well, there's that. Articulation, it's... If you have the Siege one or the Netflix one, you kind of know what you're going to expect. Head can move. Arms can move. They can move forward, swivel, bend, elbow, not elbow, wrist swivel, waist. We'll get to that in a bit, actually. Legs can go back, not far back, forward. They can go, that's all you can do. Spread, swivel, bend at the knee, and pivot. But the one articulation that really disappointed me was this. The waist swivel. I mean, yeah, granted, you can... Wait, can you? Wait, what the hell? Oh, no, you have to put it up. But if you want to go all the way down, and if you do that, it does not swivel. Because right here, these pieces, they get in the way. So you don't have articulation unless you put this up a little bit. But if you want it all the way down, like feel more like complete, you don't have a waist swivel anymore. That is one thing that I can get a little bit annoyed at. Honestly, when I found that out, I was kind of upset. Not like, oh my god, that's horrible. I'm just like, really? Come on. But it's not as bad if you don't mind doing this. If you don't mind Ultra Magnus like that. But it's I don't know about you, man, but that does not look good. Well, here's a gun, as usual. And there you go. Basically, articulation is the same, but the waist swivel, because of the vehicle mode thing, the piece, really hinders it, and it, I don't know, man. But let's escape that. Look at size comparison. For size comparison, it's basically the same thing I said before, but he does look really good together with your 86 figures, especially. If you're planning to collect a lot of 86 figures, this Ultra Magnus is the one to go, because he does look good in G1 style, at least, for Kingdom. But that's really it. Pretty much the same size, well, with like before, but nothing's really changed with this figure. So, there is that. Well, here is this, though. He cannot open the Matrix for the life of him. Oh boy. If only I had that one figure, he would be screwed. And I'm glad he's not here yet. Well, I get the feeling it's going to happen eventually. I hope I didn't jinx it. Well, let's see when that happens. Magnus, you better open that damn thing. Dang it, open! So, final verdict on this figure. The Transformers Kingdom Leader Class Ultra Magnus. It's, honestly, it's a beautiful looking figure, but very underwhelming. And that really makes me a little bit upset, because I really wanted to love this figure. Now, when I heard it was announced that we're getting Earth-based Ultra Magnus, and I was like, hell yeah, Earth-based! This is look pretty cool! But when I saw the vehicle mode, it did not really look like a good sign. The robot mode was, I was hoping for it to save the figure, and yes, it did! I do like the Ultra Magnus figure. The robot mode looks beautiful. So G1. I really do love the look of this figure. It's just because of some flaws with this figure, especially the waist swivel that's lacking because of the car part. I don't know what you call it. Well, not car, truck really, but you know what I mean. That really hinders the articulation point for me. And of course, the vehicle mode looks very lazy and plain. The only effort they did really was the vehicle top or the front. That's really all he did. And the robot mode for Albino Prime makes him look a bit chunky. And it's not that it's bad. I mean, I don't mind. It's just like, damn, what happened? But all in all, the figure itself was a potential great Ultra Magnus figure, but they just had to reuse the mold, just do some tweaks to make it look like, you know, an 86 figure. And if people really love this figure, that's great. I mean, I do love the figure, and I'm glad to have this figure in my collection. I just think it could have been better with, you know, making a new figure. So in the end, I'm going to give this figure a 7 out of 10. It's not the greatest figure. It's kind of one of the more let down figures in the wave, but I still do like it. It's actually a lot better than the re-release of RC from Earthrise. That's for sure. It's better than that figure, but again, I do love the figure, and do I recommend it for your collection? Yes, I do recommend this figure for your collection, but that's only if you don't have the Siege or the Netflix one, or if you want a G1 looking Ultra Magnus, and this is for you. But if you're really happy with the Siege one, you're really not missing anything out here, really, except for the G1 look. But all in all, like I said, a good looking figure, but it's basically the same, but it is what it is. So that's it. Hope you guys do the review. See you guys next time, hopefully. Goes over 20 out.